So welcome, my name's Ben Hudd. I'm one of the trustees of Hidden Help, and what I thought I'd like to do is, just in response to quite a lot of interest we've had over the last few months, it's just a very short little video that just tells you a little bit more about our work, where we come from, a bit of our history, and how you might be able to help us in all sorts of ways that you can volunteer. So first of all, we're called Hidden Help. This is the brainchild of an amazing lady called Judy, who's been doing this for about 11 years. She set up completely herself from scratch. One day she decided she'd buy a little van, and simply in response to need, she'd collect furniture and give it to those people who, second-hand furniture, and give it to people who needed it. And so she did this on her own, almost solely on her own, with the amazing support from her husband, Jake, who he's just been absolutely incredibly supportive. And yeah, for maybe 5, 6, 7 years she just spent her time driving around her own, and then very slowly team began to gather around her. And I've only been helping Hidden Help for a couple of years, and I have to say I'm just absolutely hooked to the vision that she came up with, and I'll talk about a little bit about that maybe later. So Hidden Help, what do we do? Well, the sad fact is that there are a lot of people in Cornwall who have absolutely nothing and are trying to start their lives again from scratch. So, for example, people who are in the refuge houses, who are escaping domestic violence and who are relocated to Cornwall. We have people who are ex-offenders and are starting to start their life again. We have people who are homeless and are being rehoused through the local councils. So, and all sorts, and in between, and many others. So really, Hidden Help is set up to give that start, that fresh start, to help this person on their fresh start in their life, when circumstances has meant that they've been left with almost nothing. On my first trip with Hidden Help, I went to a lady who, I lived in for Sheffield in 20 years before we moved down to Cornwall. And I thought I'd seen deprivation in the inner cities until I walked into this person's house in Camborne, and I just couldn't really quite believe that someone was living like this in this day and age. It was just absolutely dreadful. The other week I went to a single mum who had a 5-year-old child and was sleeping on a towel on the floor. No carpets. They had literally had a black bin liner full of possessions, and they were sleeping on a towel on the floor. So what do you do when you're met with that level of poverty? Well, first of all, is to say we're really grateful that the local government and local council provides accommodation for people. It's, what an incredible country we live in, where we can actually afford to rehouse people when they really are at rock bottom, many of our clients. And so I'd like to say thank you for that. However, what they don't get given is any furniture or any practical, any furniture, any furnishings, or so people literally will move into somewhere with a black bin liner, a suitcase, and nothing else. So what Hidden Help tries to do is simply offer them support practically by kind of filling their flat or their room, their bed set or whatever, with the furnishings that they need. All of our furniture is donated. It's all second hand. We give things like beds, single beds, king size beds, mattresses, carpets, curtains, cookers, electric cookers, fridge freezers. And if you can imagine, if you walk into your house and look around you and you see what you need to live, sofas, coffee tables, electric fires, lamps, everything that you need to live and you would expect to find in a simple dwelling, that's what Hidden Help attempts to provide for people who have absolutely nothing. So what we do is we rely completely on donations of furniture and household items. We have a small warehouse in Bissau where basically it's kind of that our throughput is just incredible at the moment. So we will come and collect, although we do love people to deliver because it saves us cost and time. and we'll collect the furniture and what you can offer, and then we'll upcycle it if necessary, and give it a clean, sort it out, and then take it out to whatever clients we need. And to be honest, we're working at the moment on almost an as-needs basis. So, literally, we'll have a referral, and we usually try to help them within about a week, 7 working days. It's often much quicker than that. Quite often we'll go the next day, because literally people are in that kind of need, and they need something to sleep on, something to cook on, something, a kettle even to make a cup of tea. So we have our warehouse in Bissau. That's what we do. We get out there, we take the furniture out, and we just simply try to give people a bit of a leg up, practically, when they're starting their lives again. And it's incredibly inspiring. If you've the stories that people coming out from all sorts of situations and difficulties in their lives, and they're always full of hope. That's the most, if I obviously say to people, if you're feeling slightly needing a bit of motivation, a bit of hope, then come out with Hidden Help, and you'll see people who have absolutely nothing and yet are really wanting to make a positive new start to their life. And I think that's just simply what we try to do in a practical kind of way. When it comes to referrals, it's quite simple. We only deal with referrals from organisations that we have a relationship with. So, for example, the local council, social workers, and so we don't take direct referrals unless it's an absolute last resort or real dire need. We always try to visit those people that we're helping first, just to give them to get a wish list off them, and not we don't means test. Everyone that we help has to be in receipt of some form of benefits, but that's in order for us to qualify for charitable status. And what we don't do is put people through a massive means testing program, because I think people often find that humiliating, and yet I haven't met a single person we've helped who hasn't really genuinely needed it. And I think that's because we work solely through the relationships we've built over the years, or Judy's built over the years, are so trustworthy that if we do get a call and someone needs some help, then they really do need some help. We're totally self-funding, and one of the things that we're really looking for this year is to try and broaden that funding base. At the moment, we're relying on several very generous donations, and obviously for any organisation, it's far healthier to have a much wider support base. So we are looking for financial help. I'll be really upfront about that, because otherwise we won't be able to do what we're going to do. For example, we're looking for slightly larger premises because our warehouse is always bursting at the seams. We're looking to buy a new van. At the moment, Judy's, we drive around in a tiny van, which is just great, but it'd be lovely to have a bigger one that other people can drive. And just really, but all of that money goes to, everyone's volunteers, no one's paid. We try to keep our costs to an absolute minimum, and just simply just give that practical assistance. So how can you help? Well, there are all sorts of ways you can help. The reason I'm doing this video in front of my garage is because yours might look like this. Actually full of stuff that you want to get rid of. Now, I moved my mum into a home in September last year, and I still have furniture that I'm hanging on to hopefully give to Hidden Help when there's room in the warehouse. So maybe that's you. Maybe you have furniture that you want to get rid of. The kind of things we're looking for, as I say, are beds, cookers, just household items really. And if you offer us something and we can't use it, we'll be really honest and upfront, because there's no point in giving it to us when it's just either sitting in our warehouse or we'll end up, well, I don't think we've ever thrown anything away, but so we're very good at saying no thank you. But on the same hand, we are desperate for those really key household items. So if you've got something to offer, please just get in contact, and we'll be very happy to say thank you. We're also very happy to say no thank you. So that also, do you have time? We love people to come and help in our warehouse. Obviously during lockdown, we're still working in lockdown. I'm being very careful and following all of the guidelines, but people are still being rehoused. People are still coming to the refuge houses, people are still moving around, people are still in desperate need. And therefore, we feel we do still need to continue, but in a very, very safe fashion. So, for example, we don't share vehicles, obviously. We don't get into people's properties. We socially distance. We do all of the things we are meant to do in order to continue our work. Can you volunteer? Can you volunteer to drive a van? Can you drive a van? Can you give a morning or an afternoon now and again? Can you join our WhatsApp group and just be available so that if we do need some assistance, we just put it out there, and maybe you can help, maybe you can't help. Maybe can you be a local contact in your community for people who want to donate to Head and Help, who can collect things for us and bring them to the warehouse to save us the journeys, or can you deliver things to your local community so that it's local people helping local people. To be honest with you, if you just feel that you can help in some way, then get in touch, and we would just love to have a conversation with you to see how we might be able to kind of dovetail in. And maybe you're an organisation that wants to looking to partner, and again, that's what we're trying to do this next few months, is to find organisations that fancy partnering with us. We've got one and maybe two schools who are partnering with us. We've got places of worship, we've got churches that are looking to partner with us. So maybe you can have that kind of relationship. Either way, the most important thing to do is to build that relationship with you, so you understand our work. And the best way to do that is to come out with us. Obviously after lockdown, come out with us and someone visit do a visit. And I promise you, once you've been on the visit and you've seen the kind of deprivation that we have to deal with on a weekly basis, then I haven't known anyone yet not to do that and then not be hooked and want to volunteer with us. The last thing I'd say is this: we also have a community called Hidden Treasures. Now, not all of us are Christians, but some of us are. And what we're trying to do is obviously separate from Hidden Help, because Hidden Help is very much a secular organisation that just helps everybody, and we're all just a great team together. But there are those people who want to explore their faith in the context of helping others. So for some people, Hidden Help has actually become their church, or Hidden Treasures has become their church. So we set up this community. There are just under about 10 of us at the moment, 9 or 10 of us at the moment, who are all in different places in our lives, all in different stages of our faith, and just frankly want to see what it's like to serve God in the context of helping other people. So if that interests you, again, do get in touch, and we'd love to talk to you about that too. So thanks for listening, and just get in touch. I'd say if you'd like to know more, if you feel you can help us, or if you feel we can help you in some way, or we can work together, then it'd just be absolutely lovely to hear from you. Thank you so much.